Hi everybody, spring is here. Today we're going to talk a little bit about yard tips. The grass is starting to come up. Most of the snow is melted, thank heavens. So we're just how we're going to attack our yards this time of the year. I think the most important thing to remember right now is to stay off your yards, because right now the ground is very wet with all that 80 inches of snow we had. If you walk on that yard, it's going to get packed. That's very important. I think I would stay off of it for maybe another week. Possibly by about the 20th of this month, you might want to start raking a little bit. Some of that is top of the grass is so flat, you might want to just start raking it a little bit to get the air in there, so some of that mold will work out of there. We've had a little bit of rain. That's a big help. That takes the frost down, so the ground is going to start warming up, so the grass will start to grow before long. Now, about the end of April, about the 25th to the 30th of April, this is when we start fertilizing. Now, there's two different products you can use. You can go to, you can buy this different fertilizer anywhere place, Home Depot, you can buy it out here at Menards, your Ace store, anywhere you want to. They all have basically the same products. The one that I would recommend is this one is here. If you have crabgrass, that's this wide leaf product. This particular one comes from Menards. It's a crabgrass preventer. You put it on in the spring, and then there's another product you put on in the fall. But you put this on in the spring, and it also down here in the corner, there's three numbers, 2205. Now what that is, the 22 is nitrogen. The second number is 0 is phosphorus. Almost all the fertilizer you get today is 0 for phosphorus, because phosphorus, they don't want to put any in there anymore because it goes down in the gutter, in the stream, into the streams, and it can affect on the fish and the wildlife. So everything's going to be 0 for phosphorus, and the last number is potash. Okay? Now the nitrogen is for growth. This is what makes that grass just pop up and just really start shooting. The potash is a lower number, and this is fine in the spring of the year. Now toward late summer and fall, then you will get a product that might be more like 18012 or something like that. The last number will be greater. Now another thing you might want to use, if you don't have crabgrass, you might want to go to just plain old weed and feed, and that's got your feeding, your nitrogen, phosphorus, potash, plus it has what you call your 2,4-D AMI product, which will kill your dandelions. Now, there's a lot of different ways to put on fertilizer, but let me tell you how I do it. I've done this for years. If you'd like to see, someday drive by my house and look at my grass. I've learned this from experience of 20 years in apartment maintenance and taking care of a huge lot that we used to take care of, a huge yard, about 2 acres of grass, and I learned from some professionals. And this is this is a Scott's spreader here. You put your hand in here like this. It's got a hole down here. It's different sizes, so you just put the fertilizer in here. And then I like to go out when it's raining a little bit, when the clouds are real dark and they're coming up overhead, and the weather report says we're sure going to get an inch of rain. Put your fertilizer in here, you cover this up, and then you go out and you spread it. This will keep it dry, and you'll spread it. Now, why in the world would I want to go out and do that when it's lightly raining? You're not going to do that when it's pouring, but when it's lightly raining. Well, here's the reason. The nitrogen lays on top of that grass or in the soil on the top. And if you don't get the moisture to take it down, what happens is those little nodules will kind of dissipate into the air. So you've just given it away. It just goes up. Now the other way to do it is in late afternoon. If you don't want to wait for rain, just go out and spread it late afternoon after the sun has gone down and it's cool. Put on the fertilizer and then get your hose out there and sprinkle it on. That's good too. Now your lawn needs about 1 inch a week in this poor soil that we have up here in this area. And you can put a sprinkler out there, maybe put one of these little things you stick in the ground to measure the amount of rain and their timing. And then I have mine, it takes about 35 minutes, and it'll show 1 inch of rain. So whenever I put my hose out, I check my watch, turn the water hose on, and let it run for that half hour, then I turn it off, and I know I've given it 1 inch. But that's something that works really good. Anybody in here that has a problem with the yard, I'd be glad if you want to give me a call. Tom can put my number up on the website here, and I'd be glad to come over. There's no charge whatsoever. If you need a few tips on your yard, I'd be glad to give you a few tips also. The second thing I want to talk about today a little bit is mobile home repairs. Now, like I said, I was in apartment maintenance for almost 20 years. And back years ago, I did all kinds of carpentry when we built the house from the bottom up. So I've had quite a lot of experience in everything that to do with a home. I take care of almost 100% of everything in my house. However, I can't come out to your home and do everything because, you know, these days it takes licenses to put in a furnace, and it takes license to do something with the water heater, and you have to have license for all this stuff. So I can't do just everything. However, what I would like you to do is, if you got some little problem and you'd like some advice on it, just give me a call. I'll be glad to come over. Again, no charge. I'll come over. I'll be glad to give you some advice. You know, if you got some little thing that it might be just some little thing, I can tell you how to do it. You can do it yourself. That'll save you calling a plumber out for $85 for the trip, $65 to $100 an hour for work. And I can show you how to do it yourself. A lot of things are very simple. I'll stand there with you and give you some advice. I'd be glad to do that. One other thing I wanted to mention. Whenever I'm out talking to people, I had this happen when I was signing people up for our association. A lot of times I would ask people just one question, and that question always was this. If you have a water line break in your house, under your sink, like your hot water or your cold water, but it's the one that's under pressure, not the drain, not the trap underneath where it's just drip, 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 not that. It's the one that's under pressure and the water really starts coming fast. Oh my gosh, what do I do? Well, you reach underneath and hopefully there's a shutoff valve there. But if you have an older home, like an 85 or 90, that valve may be stuck and you can't get it shut off. Okay, you know where to go to find the whole home shut off. So a lot of them are under the home. Do you know where the panel is to get to it? Is the shutoff just under as you open the door, is it right there? Sometimes they're in 6 feet to the right or 6 feet to the left. You need to know where that is. Many times it's not there. Sometimes it's in by the water heater. But you need to know for sure where that is. Now, if you want to give me a call, I'd be glad to come over. I'll locate it for you. We'll turn it off. We'll check your faucets, double check it, and then you'll know. And you can tell everybody in your family where that shutoff is, so in an emergency, you can shut the whole house down. You know why that's important? If that water starts coming and running into your kitchen or into your bathroom on the floor, it's going to get down underneath into that particle board, and that particle board expands. It's going to ruin your floor. I know, maybe you got insurance that's going to take care of it, but you're going to have a mess. It'd be much simpler if you could just get it shut off. So that's my big tip for today. Just give me a call. I'll be glad to come out, help locate it for you, and there's no charge for that. Thank you very much.